and also law. Then they will look at understanding sociological perspective and law, relationships between sociological perspectives and law. They'll look at the functionalism and law, conflict perspective and law, symbolic interaction perspective, and the feminist perspective and law. So these are basically the social institutions and how they relate to law. They will look at the sociological relevance of law for managing conflict, since your course is about conflict management. So we explain conflict and conflict management, which I know you've dealt with severally. Causes of conflict, effects of conflict on society. So that'll be unit 4. Stages of conflict, some selected conflict management approaches. Then we look at law as a tool for managing conflict. That will take us to unit 5. We look at the dynamism of law and conflict management. So we look at the evolving legal frameworks, interpretive flexibility. We look at ADRs, alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, globalization and legal harmonization. Look at it. Restorative justice approach, education and legal literacy and dynamism of law and conflict management. So unit 5 will be, I'll lecture on unit 1 all the way to 4. Unit 5 and 6 will be presentation. So you will have to group yourself into groups and you present on unit 5 and 6. We'll look at environmental disputes. You will look at it in all of those things. So unit 6 talks about case studies. So we look at environmental disputes, land disputes, election disputes, labor disputes, domestic and family disputes, and you have to make presentations on these, and that will be it for our course. Okay. So that's the general overview of the course. Okay. Any challenges? Any question? Anything?
Sir,
Yes,
hey,
listen.
this is Vincent. This is Vincent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We wish if you could project it for us.
Yeah, we project, but we are not there yet.
Okay, sir.
You have to say something before I project. What do you want me to project?
You know, when you project the slides while teaching, we get more
I'm
understanding.
saying, what do you want me to project?
The slides.
The slides. Eh?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll project the slides. But before then, I need to know where you are. What I've stated is are there any concerns? So before I project my slides that you will look at, and you'll be sitting in your bedroom or in your library or in your car or traveling, what is law? It's not just your business, it's anyone. So I'll mention names here. Above the way. Above the way. Please, what is law? Are you with us, sir? Okay, let me write a name down. Above the way. Above the way. Oh, I'm not getting the name right. It's Abaviwe. I asked him what is law and he
Sir, can I
didn't.
please answer?
No. I come to Vincent. I want above the way to talk.
Okay, sir.
I know some people have internet challenges, so if you have internet challenges, you can type it. Can Ishmael come in there and help us out? Oh yes. Oh, thank you. We thought you had run away. Welcome, sir. What is the
Okay.
name? Tell me the pronunciation of the name.
Size Abaviwe.
Above the way. I nearly got it right.
You are
Yes,
even
sir.
right. Yeah,
I'm
right.
right. What's the
Yeah.
meaning?
Like I'll never deny God.
Yes, yes. You nearly denied.
I will never, never to deny God.
Yes, 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 yes. I say you nearly
Yeah.
denied me. Please, what is law?
Uh, Law is a set of rules and regulations created and enforced by any country.
Okay. Rules and regulations.
Yes, sir.
Rules and regulations. Thank you. Osei Kofi. Osei Kofi. Mr. Osei Kofi. Is he there? Mr. Osei Kofi. Mr. Osei Kofi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I just said, what is rules and regulations? Mr. Ababi US stated that laws are a set of rules and regulations in any given country. Are you with us, sir?
Hello. Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening. Oh.
Sir, you were asking all these rules and regulations.
Yes, Mr. Osei.
Okay. So, rules and regulations, like you can say that is like guidelines that is
Mm-hmm.
made to control like behavior of others
Okay,
or how people should live their life. Yes.
thank you. Where are you? Will you be able to follow the lecture where you are?
Yeah, I'm in a car. Yes, sir. I'm on
Mm,
duty, but I'm following.
it's hard. Try and follow.
Help. Yes, yes, sir.
I said
Thank you, sir.
try and follow. I know it's tough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
It's very tough.
but it will be well. Cipher,
Thank you, sir.
cipher, cipher, cipher.
Yes, sir, I did hear, sir.
You did.
Yes, sir.
Nice one. Osekofi is saying there are guidelines. Mr. Ababi says law is rules and regulations. Osekofi too saying the rules and regulations are guidelines. Okay. What are guidelines? Are laws guidelines?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Laws are they guidelines?
Yes, sir.
And who makes them?
They are individuals. We made the laws.
So, say Cypher, can you tell me one law that you made?
So my forefathers made the law. Me, I didn't make the law. There are some laws my forefathers made, sir.
Such as, tell me one law that your forefather made, and tell me the name of that forefather.
Sir, killing someone is an offense. So
which
it
of your forefathers made that law?
that I can't name. I can name the person.
But you think it's your forefather who made it?
Yes, sir. I think that he was part of it, sir.
He was part of it. And why did he make it an offense?
Yes, sir. It's a bad thing to kill someone.
Why is it a bad thing?
So you know, killing someone is a bad thing. It's against the rule of nature.
I remember back in the day, my forefathers, they had this law that when a chief dies, they bury the chief with some heads. So didn't they know it was a bad thing and they were doing it?
So they believe in some rituals.
They believe in some rituals.
Yes, sir. It was a ritual.
So killing is good when it's ritual and it's bad when it's not ritual.
To some people, it's good. There are some people, when you go to some places, killing someone is good for them. But in our society, killing is not good for us. So
your
our law
forefather,
different.
your forefather said that.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Is there any place that killing is good?
I don't know, but I've watched some documentaries. I know say there are cannibalism in some areas, so they believe in killing someone, some people. So it's good for them.
Which place is that?
These Amazon documentaries, these Jungle people, they have the cannibalism over there. So if you watch these documentaries, they kill their enemies, which they will eat them. Even last year or last 2 years, I watched some documentaries at Congo. They killed one of their generals with this conflict was there, and they burn him and kill, eat his body. So to them, it's good,
but not long ago in Ghana we were killing human beings.
yes, sir.
For what
In the
reason?
90s, this way, Lawrence killed some judges.
Yeah. And
They were
even
flogging people at the
I think there's even a dispute as to whether killing people is unlawful in Ghana here. But during Akufo-Addo's time, there was supposed to be a law that was passed to stop the killing of human beings, but we don't know whether it was signed or it wasn't signed.
No one has signed it. They are afraid to sign it, sir.
It was
They
not
are afraid
signed.
to sign. So then I think your forefather is still around, though. So we kill people, don't we?
No, still, we are not killing them, but no one. They are afraid to sign it. Everyone is afraid to sign because, yeah.
But there are places that we call civilized that they still kill human beings.
It depends on the offense.
So you have to have done something and then you can be killed.
That is more to deserve to be killed, sir.
So is killing a good thing or a bad thing in general?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm asking.
There is a good thing in some places, good in some other cases. The case depends on the case.
It depends. There are times that we have to kill.
Yes, it depends. Someone can kill 14 people and he doesn't deserve to live. Someone, this Abyssine killer, now they are doing court case. He deserves to be killed instantly. So
he deserves to be killed instantly. I like that part of it. Instantly.
Yes, he doesn't need to take car and waste our fuel. Taxpayers' money.
We have to kill him.
Now he's even fatter than us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Barbara. Madam Barbara.
Yes, sir. Jay, keep quiet.
Oh, you can join us. No problem. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay. Please try and pay attention, okay?
Yes, sir.
I really don't have any. I don't have any questions for you. Anyway, I just wanted to see whether I think I've gotten your attention. I know that you can mute it now, Madam Barbara. I know that there are issues connecting and the rest, but try and pay attention, okay? Today, what we are going to do that Sir Vincent wants me to project, I'm going to project and we'll do it, all right? We're looking at Unit 1, okay? Please, is this showing on your screen?
No, sir.
Not yet, sir.
No, sir.
Not yet, sir.
Wahala. Then I'm coming. Let me try it again.
No, please.
Okay, don't worry. I'll get it. Hey. Hello, am I still online?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Be quiet, mate.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I think I fell off. I was trying to and I fell off. Let me try it again. Uh, please, is it showing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So if you can mute yourself for me and we can commence our lecture. If you have any question, just come in. Don't wait. Just, when you raise your hand, I cannot see because my entire screen is being used to share. So if you have any question, you just barge in and ask me. Okay. So here, today we're dealing with the explanation of law and related concepts. So I started off by asking you what is law, and Mr. Babiwe was kind of very nice to us, stated that rules and regulations applicable in the country, and if you don't go by those rules and regulations, there are sanctions involved in that. Okay. So what the objectives of this unit is that at the end of the session, you should be able to provide an explanation of law. So what is law? Whether you agree with Mr. Babiwe, Mr. Sekufi, and the rest, what they were saying, and the Saifa, and the rest, what they were saying, or maybe have a different concept. So we'll look at the explanation of what law is and certain concepts that are related to law. So we try and explain what law is. We look at its importance. We explain the vehicle through which the law works, that is the legal system. Appreciate what law is composed of. We explore the roles, responsibilities, significance of legal professionals in upholding what we term as rule of law or administration of justice. Then we will explain the principles of enforcement and legal remedies. How can the law be enforced? In Ghana, we normally say, as for Ghana, we have every law, but we don't enforce it. The law enforcement is the issue. So we will look at it. I think we will look at units 1, 2, 3, and 4 today. And we will look at 5 and 6 tomorrow. I think the next lecture is 10:30 tomorrow. Okay. So by way of introduction, stated over here that law is a complex and multifaceted concept that plays a fundamental role in governing societies and resolving disputes. So law is complex, it's not simple. So what you are going to study is law in society, law in sociology. And we are saying law in its own is a complex one. I'm sure when it comes to society, it's also another complex area. Okay. And it has multifaceted, that is different elements. It has a lot of different faces to it. Okay. And it plays a fundamental role. It is very vital in governing society. So for there to be a functioning society, there must be laws. There must be what Mr. Babiwe stated, the rules and regulations. It must always be there. And it is there to resolve disputes. Disputes or conflict arises because we are human beings with different interests and backgrounds and everything. And when we come together in a society, there are bound to be disputes. The dispute could be over scarce resources, could be over, survival economics, could be over family, education. It could be over anything. Okay, when those disputes arise, then law comes in to provide a solution to that dispute. So law encompasses a wide range of principles. I have this habit of talking a little bit too fast. So if I'm going too fast, kindly draw my attention.
Yes, sir.
It encompasses a wide range of principles, okay, rules, regulations, and norms. And it guides human behavior. So it's basically something that helps us in relating with each other. If there are rules and regulations, as we are doing this lecture, the rules and regulations are that I am the one who's delivering the lecture, and I'll ask questions, you decide to answer, you do this. There are some invisible rules that governs the way these things are done. I told you tomorrow we might have another lecture, and so there are rules and regulations that applies to this whole enterprise that you are involved in, trying to get yourself a certificate or trying to pass, to get your degree. Okay. A society's collection of standards that specify how members within that community ought to conduct themselves towards one another serves as the essential foundation for any society that is ethically desirable. So what this is saying is that for there to be any proper functioning society, there must be certain norms, certain standards, certain rules and regulations, and people who are living within that society must abide by those rules and regulations. And if we do not do that, it leads to chaos and anarchy. Okay, so law is, that fundamental, rules and regulation that governs the way society expects people to behave. That helps in gelling society, makes it, livable. That helps in solving disputes within any given society. And the laws in that society must be what is stated as ethically desirable. So there's a little bit of morality when it comes to law. The law must be something that is ethically sound and ethically justifiable. We started this lecture, looking at rules, and someone stated that you shouldn't kill. So I asked who said you shouldn't kill, and maybe he could have said it is not nice to kill. Okay, but he said his forefather said you shouldn't kill. That is his justification. Okay, and it went all the way back to say, but still we are still killing. Okay, so someone who said we shouldn't kill ended up saying that there's someone in Sunyani who has killed 14 people, and that guy is being fed some food, and he's against someone who has killed 14 people being given food. So we shouldn't do anything to him, but just kill him. I'm sure someone out there will ask, is it ethically justifiable? Someone who is alleged to have killed how many amounts of people? It doesn't matter. He hasn't gone through what the law says he should go through. Should he be killed? Even if he's taken through the system and he's found guilty, should we as a nation in the 21st century believe that killing human beings solves anything? These are ethical and moral issues that I think everyone will have an opinion in. But law has that foundation in there. There must be some moral justification to it. Since its inception, the law has been the primary driving force in shaping and reshaping the established order of society. In any society where there's no law, it's a lawless society. Okay, it's an all play all. Everyone will, the survival of the fittest. Okay, the establishment of procedures and standards that limits the authority of all parties, make all parties responsible for their acts, and prohibits the rise of autocratic or oligarchic power is the fundamental purpose of law. What this is saying is that there must be certain procedures and standards that are there, okay? And it stops, the rule of the jungle where, the mighty will just have their way by bullying the weak and the rest. Law comes in there to provide or to protect us against autocratic despots, okay? And is one of the fundamental purposes of law. It provides kind of a variety of alternate pathways via which conflicts can be amicably resolved. You cannot solve conflicts without resort to the law, okay? And the law can solve conflict when the conflict is between private individuals or organizations, or between these parties and the government. So whenever there's a conflict between the state and the individual, the law comes in there to solve that conflict. These conflicts can be between individuals and also organizations. Okay. I'll stop and you ask questions. So this is kind of a background to it. And there are numerous definitions of law, but no matter how far you go, the basic answer that was given to us by Mr. Ababiwe always comes in there. He said, essentially, law is a system of rules and regulations that are created and enforced by a recognized authority. So there must be a recognized authority, typically a government. So they create the law and they enforce the law. Okay, and it is there to regulate. So as Mr. Osekofi stated, kind of some guidelines. It guides the people who live within that given society. Okay, the behavior of individuals. It regulates the behavior of individuals, regulates the behavior of organizations, and entities. So laws are not only applicable to human beings, even artificial beings like companies and corporate entities. So if you look at the case of the Republic versus Wontumi and also Akonta Mining. Wontumi is a human being. Akonta Mining is a legal entity, it's a corporate entity. And that entity, there are laws that regulate it. It can commit criminal offenses, despite the fact that it's an artificial human being. And there are sanctions that can be placed on that entity. Okay, so the law regulates the behavior of individuals, organizations, and entities within a given society. The law must always work within a given society. So hence the title of our course, Law and Society. The law must work in a society. It serves several essential functions. The law's purpose is to maintain order. So the argument by philosophers and the rest is, in a country where there are no laws, it's like a jungle, okay? So essential is it maintains law and order. It resolves disputes. It protects rights and promotes justice. Okay. Any question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, master. Sir. Hello, sir.
I'm listening, boss.
Sir, please, I'm Emmanuel Senyo.
Okay, Senyo.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's about the law. You see, they said the law is to maintain order and then protect rights. So, as someone has committed murder and then the person has been convicted of murder, the person has killed, and the person has been sentenced to jail. Since the person is there, sometimes we know we have this amnesty and then some of them are being released. And because they are always being sent to prison, it doesn't deter some miscreants from putting an end to such acts. There are a lot of killings going on, and at the end of the day, prisoner and ameko. Prisoner, I remember we've been doing cases whereby the person will kill, and then it's like the person is not feeling any remorse of what he has done, because at the end of the day, you'll be sentenced to prison.
Okay.
But if that death sentence is there, since the law is the law, and if that death sentence is there, and the person is being sentenced to death and they kill that person, at least it will serve as a deterrent from a lot of people to put an end to it. Firstly, during Jerry's time, Jerry's regime, when is this? You go to firing squad and then they fire you either by hanging, and certain things were minimized. I mean, how people kill and then other stuff. When you come to my end here, it's like the youth over here. Sir, the way in which they are harming people.
Where is your end? Where is your end?
Western region. To be
it's a lawless place.
Aguna Kwanta Disco. Within that's going to keep 3 points. In fact, it's not.
It's lawless. Here. It's lawless.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry.
When I was at this school, at least every year there's a murder case. Every year, either one or two. At least one. Deliberate. They'll just do. I mean, and then they'll go scot-free. Some of them just run away and then go and then they come back and then the family accepts them. And they don't even report to the police. Because at the end of the day, when he's been arrested, you'll be sentenced to you go to prison and then that's all.
Okay. So
that aspect. So sometimes
you believe that the law, there must be deterrence. It must be able to deter. The law must bite, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Any contrary opinion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir, this is Vincent.
Yes, Vincent.
Yes. So as my brother rightly said, when you commit a crime, you are being arrested, being prosecuted. And that one alone serves as a deterrent. And every law there's exception. It's the same law that gave the president that power to grant that amnesty to prisoners. Yes. So even going to prison serve as a deterrent to those miscreants or other people who are committing the same crime.
Sir Emmanuel is saying if you are in Discov prison, they like prison. Prison is okay. So we have to kill them.
We have to kill them.
He says the prison is not enough.
It's normal for them.
Excuse me to ask this. Has he been to the prison before? It's not easy there. So being to the prison,
okay.
Being to the prison self is not a small punishment. So taking somebody's life, I think that one is too high. Despite the person has killed somebody. Yes. So
so you disagree with him on that score,
I disagree with him.
No, we shouldn't kill human beings.
Nah.
Anyway, I think this it depends on your outtake or your outlook and your philosophy. Okay, but I think sometimes to a little bit of research and stats will come in. Okay, in countries where they have the death penalty, is there more crime or less crime? So these things all comes in, whether the death penalty actually is a deterrent or not. But these arguments are out there. Okay, so it depends on where you stand. Whether
so my brother hand is up, Michael.
I don't see you, so he needs to badge in. Just
Michael, come in.
Yes, sir. This is Michael. The thing is, what my other colleague was saying, I didn't really recognize his name, but what he was saying about how prisoners are supposed to be killed to serve as a deterrent. The thing is, prison is not just for punishment. Prison is also for rehabilitation. So if you kill people for every crime, how are you going to rehabilitate somebody you've killed? Not everybody commits murder and because they do it because they are inherently bad. Some people do it out of anger. Some people do it out of bad decisions. And those people deserve to be rehabilitated because that is why prison is there. Prison is not just for punishment. So if you kill everybody that commits murder or you kill everybody that does something heinous, who are you going to rehabilitate? And also sometimes when people when you rehabilitate other people, some people see it as they come out and become advocates, which help the youth to stay away from crime. And then all those things also reduce crime. So what he's saying about how when somebody commits a crime, no, people will always do what they want to do. But sometimes when you do rehabilitation right, when you do it in the right way, it helps reduce crime in its own way. In fact, studies have shown that it even helps more than the punishment itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So
thank you. So you see, so now that there are different perspectives and people's outlook and how they see things, but at the back of law, there must be some moral justification for certain things. But I'm sure some people, there are always arguments for and against. Okay. So let's look at the nature and characteristics of law. Okay. So there are certain characteristics that I'm going to state here, and it's a lot. We can't deal with all of them. There's the one characteristic that there's the rule-based system. Okay. So law fundamentally is a rule-based system. Okay. That people must. So there are rules and regulations. So law is a rule-based system that do not kill. And in order not to fall foul of the rules and regulations, you fall within line. There are rules and regulations. And if you kill, the sanction is maybe death penalty, the sanction is prison for reform or whatever it is. Do not steal. Do not commit rape and all of those things. These are rules and regulations that are there. In Ghana, if you come here, we have our Act 29, that is kind of like our criminal Bible. the Criminal Offences Act. Okay, it tells you about if you do this, then this is the sanction for it. These are the rules and regulations. This, as a country, these are rights. When someone is supposed to have committed a criminal offense, the state steps into the shoes of the victim and prosecutes the alleged perpetrator, and the perpetrator, the rules will be thrown at that perpetrator in the form of maybe a charge sheet or a bill of indictment listing the rules that he or she has breached. And because you are falling foul of the rule system, these are the sanctions that will be applied to you. That is for the criminal element of it. There's also the civil element of it, whereby it's not about prison, but issues between individuals, and even sometimes issues between the state and the individuals, but it's in a civil kind of context, which we'll look at later on. Whereby if you trespass on my land, the rules that you shouldn't go and trespass on my private property. There are certain sanctions, damages, and the rest. There are things like equitable remedies that you'll be taken through. So the rule-based system is basically something that is supposed to guide individuals living in a society, that these are rules and regulations. Please, if you want to be part of this our society, go by the rules. Do not be a deviant. Okay. It provides a framework within which conflicts can be resolved. So long as you go by the rules and regulations, you are fine. Okay. The second characteristic is that laws must be enforced. Okay. And if the laws are there and they are not being enforced, then they might as well not be there. So there are law enforcement kind of bodies. There's the police, there's the attorney general that prosecutes all criminal cases. The courts are there whereby you'll be taken through the system and the law will be applied to you. Laws are not mere recommendations, okay? And there must be a government that backs the law with legitimate force, okay? So I go back to, killing. Someone with the state's backing can legitimately kill you. If you are evading arrest, you are running away, a law enforcement officer can reasonably kill you because you are evading arrest. And that will be a defense against any charge of murder. Okay. So laws must be backed by authority. So the government normally is the one that has that authority and they enforce it. When you violate the law, there are certain consequences. Okay, you can be fined, you can be imprisoned, and our friend is saying killing is good. You can be killed. You can also pay certain damages. When it's a civil kind of offense. Okay. Also, one characteristic of law is that it regulates the society. It serves as a social regulation. Okay, and when there are rules and regulations in a society, it tells you what is acceptable and what is not acceptable in any given society. Okay, it tells you when you do this, then we construe that as a criminal offense, and there are sanctions to it. When you do this, we construe it as a civil offense, and there are sanctions within it. There are permissible things that you can do. People's rights must always be protected in there. And it's, with such rules and regulations, it maintains society because everyone knows what is happening. I heard this story about Togo sometime way back, that when their legal system wasn't working properly, if you are accused of stealing something in Togo, they don't take you to the police station, they take you straight to the prison, and they have a long list that was there. I don't know whether it's true or it's not true. They have this long list. So you look at what you are supposed to have done, and you look at the commensurate term you have to go and serve in the prison, and they just push you in there. I don't know whether it's a lie or not. But the legal system is supposed to ensure that because there's law in the system, the society is maintained in an orderly kind of fashion. Okay. And law is dynamic and also evolving. So the law is not static. They evolve, they change. So when someone tells you, oh, we need a new law. Why do you need a new law? Oh, because our culture says we should have this new law. Because that is how our forefathers behaved. The law is not static, okay? The law changes. So let me bring in one controversial thing that has happened recently. There was this, they said there's this manual for JHS people that was telling them about gender, okay? And the manual states that there's male sex, there's female, and there are people who are fluid, okay? And we said, no, that is LGBT thing that is coming into the system, okay? And people say, oh, that is against our culture and everything. That is fine. Within that same context that the book was given, they also gave them tablets, computer that these students are supposed to use. And they go on the internet, okay? And if they go on the internet, and the book says there's only male and female, and they go on the internet and they say there's more than male and female, what happens?
That means you contradict what the book also says.
So then what happens? Shouldn't we educate our students on, oh, there's male, there's female. Here, our culture says it's only, you can either be man or a woman. But in other places that you find on the internet, they have this gender thing, but our culture says this is what we believe in. Wouldn't that be a more accurate way of looking at it? Instead of saying, oh, as for us, no matter what, you are a man or you're a woman.
Yeah, it's true. We shouldn't stick to our own, and then maybe not teaching the children the outside, maybe what the others are doing in the Western world. No, we should teach them all. I think we should educate them. We should enlighten them. Let them know that maybe this is what the others are doing. But in our custom, tradition, and norms,
that's right.
It's forbidden. So we shouldn't entertain it or accept it.
Okay. So basically, the law is dynamic and is evolving, and every day we are learning. Just about when I started teaching this course about 2-3 years ago, I can give assignments, and the people would do the assignments and everything will be fine. But now if I give you an assignment to take home, I don't know whether you did it or the machine did it.
The machine will do it.
So society keeps on and evolving enough. Characteristic of law is that it's a around to. By what? Something you must be able to. It can point you out to a law that gives some drivers. They are charged fares, or they are giving you, when you say you want to move from, let's say, Kaswa to Accra Central, they will take you all the way to Makati Hills. Stop, then they will also go again and they'll take you short so they can cheat you. Okay, I'm sure you've heard of that thing.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, the line is breaking, so please, if you can come again. Hello, sir. It seems your line is off.
It's my line, eh?
Yes, sir. Now
Please.
Now
Yes.
you can hear you.
Now you can hear me. Yeah, so I was talking about recently, did you hear about drivers who were not obeying the rules? They were overcharging people and the rest. You heard it, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the solution was that GPRTU, they went on the street arresting certain drivers who were overcharging. Wasn't that the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What law gives GPRTU
They don't have the mandate to do any arrest, but it is the government that have to do that, since they are charging more than they have to be a law guiding the transportation fare, the increment, and other stuff. So if you are overcharging, and which is not, it does not go in line with the GPRT regulation, then they can fine you. So when they arrest them, I don't know where they take them to, and which law also, convicts them or how, but they are arresting them.
So if I go to the market to go and buy tomatoes, and the market woman is overpricing me, can I arrest the market woman?
No, sir.
Yes, come in. I want us to discuss these things.
Yes, sir. You can't arrest the market woman.
So why are they arresting the drivers? And the people who are arresting, by what authority were they arresting?
So sir, about the GPRTU, they are an institution on their own, and then they price things, so they have the price control. When it comes,
but before we go forward, what institution is the GPRTU? Who are they?
They are under the. They are private, let's say private organization for under the.
And can a private organization arrest you?
No, sir.
They can arrest their members. They can arrest their members.
How can they arrest their members? What law gives them the power to arrest anyone?
I think, maybe when they do the arrest, they take the person to their own office and then
what law are they breaching? Which part of the criminal law are they breaching?
That's unlawful arrest.
Sorry.
Unlawful arrest.
So then my question is, if you go to the market and a tomato woman is selling beyond a price that you think is not allowed, can you arrest the tomato seller?
But sir, that one, when you go to a different place, you get it slow. But this one, it's like
so you can wait for the next bus and take that one if you don't like this bus.
But this one, they fall tune their mind that no, this is what we are going
to do.
Then
why did they arrest just a few of them? But they didn't arrest all the drivers.
No, because
they are arresting those who are overpricing.
So it means there are other ones who are not overpricing.
Yes.
So what stops the passengers from using the ones that are not overpricing?
The overpricers are few. Many.
They are doing so because those people they are breaching the rules and regulations banning their organization.
But if you breach a rules and regulation, do you get arrested?
Exactly.
Why?
So far as you follow yourself into that institution or union, you have to abide by their rules and regulations. So if you go contrary to it means you are making things difficult. And they have to punish.
Are you sure? Don't we have Protua? Don't we have other unions? And you know, in Ghana, you cannot force someone to belong to a union.
Yes,
exactly. But
those that.
So then, why? My problem is why even the arrest? And the people who are arresting, what powers do they have to arrest? And when they arrest, where do they take you to? We have policemen on here. Do they take them to the police station?
Sir.
And then they find them for their own rules and regulations.
And is that what law gives them the right to do that?
The GPRTU law.
There's no law.
Is there any law like GPRTU law?
No, sir.
It is the rules and regulations that they've enacted to ban their.
But how does the rules and regulations of a private organization become a law that leads to arrest of other citizens?
Sir, what you are saying is true. If you are
so, I say that it is power.
Unions don't have any right to arrest.
It's not the legal way to do that arrest.
But sir, we have a citizenry arrest.
Then why don't you arrest the tomato seller who is overselling in the market?
He doesn't belong
If
to
they
the
have union banning them, a magic cup of tomatoes should be 5 cities, and in case you are selling it 10 cities. But they've also gotten
Then
their rules over there.
where do you stop?
Uh,
Where does it end?
Sir, you see, this is what brought the control price during the Cherries regime.
And we didn't like it. That's why we got rid of it. It leads to Kalabule, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I just brought in just maybe live in the place. So the law must, whoever is applying the law must tell you his source of authority. What law gives the person the right to do whatever he's doing? So I stated there's something we call in Latin quo warranto. By what warrant? Which law gives you the power to do what you are doing? Okay. Whenever a policeman is arresting you, I'm sure he will tell you what law, what you have done, which part of the law you have breached. Reading your right to counsel, your right to a lawyer, your right to remain silent, and all of those things. Okay. There must be some authority. Okay. Also, that source of authority must be made visible. Okay. And there's also the protection of rights. One characteristic of law is the protection of fundamental human rights. One of the primary functions of law is the protection of individual and collective rights. So when we talk about human rights, these are rights that are inherent in us because we are human beings. Okay. And the international conventions and the rest have kind of delineated them or divided them into 3 different groups. We have the political rights, that is the political rights. Then we have the social and economic rights, and we have the group rights. Okay, so right to liberty, right to life, and all of those. These are individual rights, and it's because of the fact that you are a human being. Your rights are supposed to be protected, and it's the law that leads to the protection of fundamental human rights. Okay, then the law has the characteristic of resolving conflicts within the society. So conflict resolution is another characteristic of law. Okay, so law serves as a mechanism for resolving disputes between individuals, organizations, or even governments. So we have the courts, we have the ADRs, and other means of resolving disputes that arises in any given society. The law must be predictable and must be certain. If the law is shaky and shifting, it becomes difficult. So as we are here, if I am thinking of doing something, I should be able to go and look at the law that governs that thing and decide whether it is worth the risk that I am taking. So the law must be certain. Okay, if I am a driver and I decide that I'm moving from Kasua to Makati Hill, maybe I started by saying I'm going to Accra, but as we got on the road, I believe I have to stop in Makati Hill. It's my right to do that. If you don't like the way I stop, go for another car. The state is there. It can provide its own buses. There's the Metro Mass, there's what have you. No private person should turn himself into an army or a police. And it's even unconstitutional for anyone to raise a private army or police service without the backing of the law. That dresses like police people, that goes in there to harass people. So the law must always be predictable and it must be certain. Because there's this saying in law that ignorance of the law is never an excuse. And for us not to make the law a scarce commodity, we must make the law visible and certain and predictable to all citizens in the country. That is why it shocks me we don't have the constitution in Twi, we don't have the constitution in Ga, we don't have the constitution in other languages. And when you talk about constitution, everyone says, oh, as for me, I'm not a lawyer, how do I know? So if we live in a society where only certain individuals will have access to the law that was given to us by hairdressers and tailors who sat in the consultative assembly, drafted it, gave it to the committee of experts, why do we need only people who have been to school who can understand it? The civic education must be constant and must be going. People must be able to know the law, okay? Then there's a characteristic of social cohesion. Okay, the law must be able to bring people together. Okay, it shouldn't be, laws that divide us, laws that are based on tribal sentiments and what have you. It must be things that brings us together, contribute social togetherness. The framework of rules and norms members of society are expected to follow. It must create a sense of order and unity by I think the model says fostering a shared understanding of what is expected from individuals and institutions. Where the law is there, it must be able to bring people in the society together. Also, there must be limitations of the law. While law is mostly is a big thing, okay, there must be certain things, and it's not always that law is a panacea to everything. There must be limitation of what the law can and cannot achieve, and this must be, and you must look at the law in things like, can you enforce it, your capacity, societal compliance. Okay, we stated we want to pass a law into Ghanaian customary sexual blah 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 thing. Okay, how do you police such a state? Do you go into people's bedrooms and check whether they are having the customary acceptable way of mating? So law must have its limitations. The individual who has got a right to privacy and all of those things, that must be looked at. Okay, and also law operates within legal systems and jurisprudence. Okay, the legal system, which we'll treat as a topic today, is the vehicle through which the law is operationalized. Okay, so we have different legal systems. We have the common law legal system, we have the civil law legal system, religious law legal system, and we'll look at in Ghana which legal system is applicable. Okay, and it tells you how the laws are kind of operationalized. Okay, then there's jurisprudence. Okay, it's the philosophy behind the law. Okay, so we have people who believe that the law is something that must make rational sense to you. It is something that is innate to you as a human being. The naturalist, Thomas Aquinas. So the law is something that when it hits you, you feel like, oh, okay, this is normal. It's okay. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, because human beings are rational beings, and natural law says that these are that. Natural law says that a man must be with a woman and all of those things. Okay, it's something that because we are human beings, it works on us. And we have the positivist who will argue that the law is what has been written down, and it is backed by force. If the law is not written down, what you believe is rational and the rest shouldn't be the law, because what is rational to you might not be rational to the other human being who is there. Okay, so the positivists think that the law must be something that is enacted and there, and there are sanctions that are attached to it. Okay, then we have international law. This is a law that deals with nation states in their interactions with each other. So when there's so all the laws in Ghana are applicable within the jurisdiction of Ghana. But when you leave to the border of Ivory Coast or Togo, there's a different law that applies over there. International law is whereby nation states and also international organizations come together and form rules of engagement by way of conventions and treaties, whereby they decide that certain things must be done for us to interact with each other, for us to resolve our international dispute in a humane manner. Any question? So let me give the summary, and then you come in and you ask a question and discuss. In summary, law is a comprehensive and dynamic system that guides behavior, resolves conflicts, upholds justice in society, and it is a crucial instrument for achieving social order, protecting rights, and promoting the well-being of individuals and communities within a given legal framework. Legal systems and the practice of law are, they vary across countries and regions, but share the common goal of providing a structured and just society. Any question? Hello.
Hi.
Any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, please. So does it mean that those drivers who have been taking more than what they were supposed to take, and some of the DPRT members were causing, were they not doing
Were they not doing
the writing, or were they having authority to do so?
They were doing the right thing, but there was nothing backing that action. You see, the states in Ghana, we have decided that we are going the capitalist way, okay, whereby prices of goods are determined by demand and supply, isn't it?
Exactly.
So why should drivers be different from shoe sellers? Or have we decided that now drivers are providing an essential service, so we will determine what prices they must charge? It's an argument that must be had, but it's not done by way of arresting people. These are private individuals who are plying their own cars along certain routes. So for a private organization to decide, I'm going to arrest you because you decided that you are not going to take people to wherever they are taking them to, what are we doing? There must be a proper way. If we say we want to regulate, so we set up a commission that regulates. We've done it with the petrol. So we have the MPRA that regulates the price floors and the price ceilings in the amount of fees that we charge for petrol, isn't it? So if we want the same thing for the public transport system, why don't we do that? Instead of saying a private organization that gives its people uniform can decide to arrest people. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Yes, you have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
go ahead, sir.
I think if it was to be a Metro Mass driver or Ayalolo driver who was charging more than the expected amount, I think that one would be a crime.
That's right.
Because those vehicles are for the state.
That's right.
By me having my own trotro can charge more than any amount. Maybe my trotro have an AC, but the other trotro does not have AC. You don't expect me to charge the amount that the other trotro drivers are charging.
So you have really reminded me of some. Now there is this Uber and the rest. Who regulates them?
They are private companies.
How is Uber different from Trotro?
And that is very
Master, Uber, when it comes to Uber,
because
when you order Uber, they will tell you the price. If you're okay, before you order it to come.
Yes.
So it's the same
when you check the price, anytime you are to order Uber, you see the prices will come different.
Yeah.
So you will choose the one you want.
Haven't you taken an Uber that said to charge you 50 and you got there, you say 70? Do you arrest the driver?
Personally, I've not experienced that before. I've been ordering some, but like the price that I order, it appears the same amount that I'll pay to you.
Oh, but I'm sure there are people. I'm sure there are people who have taken Uber that the price has gone above it. Some even come below.
Yes, because of the traffic and other things. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So if I'm a driver, I get to a place, there's too much traffic, I say get down and I'm going somewhere else. What crime have I committed?
Yes, sir.
Yes. When
the Uber driver overcharge you and you report to Uber, they will sanction the driver. So there's a law against it. So
what sanction would they give? Do they arrest the drivers?
No, they will block the driver from being an Uber driver.
So that's fine. So then that's fine. But they don't arrest them, do they?
So they have their own law. So everyone has their own law.
Anyway, I think you guys like GPRT, so I'll move on.
not that as
I'll move on. Anyway, let's look at the legal systems.
Some people's hands are up. Michael.
Yeah, I can see you. Please go ahead and ask your question, please.
Michael and Francis, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Michael.
Please, this is Tando.
Oh, Tando,
Michael.
please. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Please, sir, my question is, why are people so uncomfortable with laws, as in laws taking its right course? Why are people so uncomfortable with laws that are working? It looks like in our part of the world, people don't want the laws to work. We like begging too much. The slight thing people are begging, oh, German and cow, yet.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Our side of the world, technically, or whatever parameter that you use.
I really don't have the answer to your question, but the the issue is maybe it could be that the people are not really involved in the making of the law. Maybe it's possible that the laws, they are not really involved because people don't even know the law. You know, educated people won't even. How many people in Ghana have actually read the? Have you ever read the Criminal Code before, Act 29? Have you read it before?
No, sir. We haven't seen one before.
So if it's something you don't, I'm sure. If you are not a police officer, you are not someone. You don't read those things. So sometimes it comes to you as a surprise, and you see, when people make the argument that in outside the law works and those things, I disagree. I disagree.
So please, let me come in a bit.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Francis Echina.
All right.
Please, Mr. Tano. Please, Mr. Tano.
You go ahead. I'm sure his line is
okay.
He'll hear.
Pursuant to your question that you've asked, that is why at times we say when we come to protection agency, you've seen that at times an officer uses his or her own discretion to deal with the law. At times, when the agency or the security man arrests or commits such an offense, due to the character of the offender, will help you to know how to handle the culprit. Maybe as you are a human being, you are liable to offend. You might not know that maybe MTTD may be on the way. All of a sudden, you will be bumped into them. They will stop you and start interacting you. Your reaction, the way you approach to them, they will get to know, oh, this person, as he's begging, let us consider. But from people too, they will start, raising their shoulders. Is then that they will, try to showcase the dedication, the capacity that they have. And for that, too, the law too has no, the consideration for anything of that sort. So that is why at times when somebody is begging or we are human beings. So if the person offends, so that he has committed that crime, and if not too much, you have to consider the person.
Okay. Thank you. So, and of course, when people say other places, if you go to a place like America, when police stop you, if you don't take care, your next place is a mortuary. They will shoot you.
Exactly.
So to say their law works and ours, I don't believe that. Anyway, let's move to legal systems. Okay. A legal system is a structured framework within which laws are created, interpreted, and applied. Different countries may have varying legal systems. We have the common law legal system, we have the civil law legal system, we have the religious law legal system, we have the customary law, different legal system. And it depends on the history of the country. The Francophone countries practice what we call the civil law. The civil law is it comes out of certain civil codes, the Justinian codes, okay, Romanic kind of law. We practice the common law legal system because we were colonized by the British and they have the common law. In Britain, their common law comprises of the common law and the laws of equity. Okay, the common law comes up. These are what we call judge-made laws. Okay, and in the olden days in Britain, we had judges who were traveling on what we call assizes, moving from town to town, regulating or resolving disputes. And when they resolve the dispute, they have this thing they call stare decisis, that is binding precedents, whereby whatever decision they give in a different town, they'll go and apply it in another town. So the law became common within the Queen's kind of jurisdiction. Okay, the same thing applies in Ghana here. The Supreme Court is the highest law of the land. When they come up with a judgment, it is binding on all the other courts, and it leads to a common law being applicable within the jurisdiction. Our common law comprises of judge-made laws, the common law itself, the rules of equity, that's the principles of fairness and the rest. And we have added customary law to our common law. Okay, the customary law are the laws that are applicable to us, within any given kind of community. So every community has its own common law. I am talking to you from Cape Coast now. We have certain laws that are applicable to the people who live within the coastal regions, that you do not go to sea on Tuesdays and all of those things. These are customary laws that bind certain group of people. If you go to the northern region, I don't think they will have any law with respect to going to sea on Tuesdays because they don't have the sea there. And I'm sure there are laws that are applicable in the north that doesn't apply over here. So customary law are laws that govern certain community using their customs to actually regulate their system. Legal system provides a mechanism for enforcing laws and ensuring that they are applied consistently. Okay, so if someone makes mention of the Ghana legal system, referring to the common law, which comprises of the common law itself, equity, and customary law. Okay. In the case of Ghana, it has a legal system that reflects its historical, cultural, and institutional context. We got the common law from the British because in the, Bond of 1840 basically stated that certain chiefs that were living within or around, adjacent to the forts and castles of the English, they are going to make sure that certain, they are going to give some of the chiefs their jurisdiction to the British Crown. So things like criminal cases were going to be conducted in accordance with the British common law system. Okay. So also there is, anyway, is there any question on the legal system? Any question? Or anyway, I'll move on, and when it's about to end, I'll open it up and we'll discuss it further. So if you have any question, just write it down and we'll do that. Else you can also come in there. So the components of a legal system is that there are laws and regulations, there are institutions. So in Ghana, our legal system, there are institutions. There is the courts, that's the judiciary. There is the police, the prisons, the lawyers, and all of those. These are all kind of institutions within the legal system. Okay, there is a SHRADS, and now there's also alternative dispute resolution mechanisms and all of those things. Okay, these are components of the legal system. And there must always be a jurisprudence. That is the philosophy of the law. Legal professionals who work within the legal system. Enforcement and adjudication. So the enforcement is done by the courts and also the police and all of those people who come in there to enforce. So within the legal system, these are the components of it. The Ghana legal system is a unique blend of different legal traditions influenced by its historical background and constitutional development. There's a common law influence, there's customary law, we have the constitutional law because we have a constitution, we have statutory law because Parliament passes acts of Parliament. The judiciary is the main cog within which the legal system revolves. There's legal education. Before you can qualify as a lawyer, there are certain things. I think the new government is trying to bring certain changes into the legal education. There's human rights and international law. So there's a Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. The High Court has got the right to kind of enforce fundamental human rights under our constitution. And we also have under maybe our customary law, traditional authorities, where when things like causes or matters affecting chieftaincy, you don't take it to the normal court system, but you take it to the, the traditional councils, and also the regional house of chiefs and national house of chiefs and all of those things. In summary, the Ghanaian legal system is a blend of common law, customary law, statutory law, and constitutional law. It reflects the country's history, culture, and legal development. Like many systems, it seeks to provide a framework for governance, protect rights, ensure the rule of law within the context of Ghana's unique traditions. Any question on the legal system? So the legal system is kind of like the wheel within which the law doesn't operate in a vacuum. It operates within a legal system. And our legal system we have created in Ghana is what we call the common law legal system, whereby we have judge-made laws, okay? We have different courts that you can send different matters to, and when the courts decide on issues, there are different routes within which you have to appeal. There are different institutions that looks at the way the law is effectuated or the law becomes operationalized. Okay. Any question on how the legal system works? If you go to a different country, they might have a different legal system. Okay. Our legal system, we got it because we were colonized by the British. All right. Any question? Then let me move on. So let's look at types of law. Am I online?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes you go too quiet, I get scared. I kind of feel like I'm talking to myself. Any question on legal system?
Sir, because the class is being interesting.
You sure?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. You're following.
We thank God. You shouldn't do the thing that the last people did though. You say, oh sir, your questions are good, but your class is interesting, but your questions are hard though. You shouldn't say that. Please ask questions, because sometimes you guys are normally busy. Sitting down to read might even be a struggle. So it's sometimes when you are sitting down in writing exam, you might remember, oh, someone asked some questions here, and this is what the man said. So that's what he's looking at. So ask question. No question is not good enough. Every question is welcome. All right. So let's look at types of law. Okay. So we'll delve into the branches. The types can be a bit confusing. So kindly pay attention. Okay. We have things like the criminal law. It deals with offenses against the state. Then we have the civil law, which governs disputes between individuals. And each type serves a unique function in maintaining law and order. So the main branches will be criminal law, civil law. When it is criminal law, one thing that you can use to determine, it's not always the case, but one thing you can use to determine whether something is a civil law or criminal law is the end effect. If you breach this law, can you end up losing your liberty? Can you end up in jail? Then we're talking about criminal law. When it comes to civil law, these are things whereby you have breached certain rules and regulations, but instead of you being taken through the court to go to jail and the rest, this one, an individual will take you to court, and what you end up losing is money. They award damages against you. Or there are certain injunctive relief, such as injunction and all of those things against you. Okay, so there's the main branches: criminal law and civil law. Criminal law, mostly the state, or in Ghana, we haven't started private prosecutions here, so it's always the state against you, the individual, and it's likely you can go to jail. But one distinction is there are certain times that it could be a civil law issue, but you can still lose your liberty. Okay? You can still, because maybe in a civil process, you have committed contempt. The court can actually take you to jail. Okay. And there are certain criminal proceedings too that when it finishes, you don't end up in jail, but they give you a fine, maybe 50 penalty units and all of those things. Then you go and so the core areas of law are criminal law, civil law, public law, private law, international law, constitutional law. So the criminal law, where you commit an offense against the state, is against another individual, but the state steps into the shoes of that individual and prosecutes you. And in Ghana, under Article 88, the Attorney General has got the right, or is in charge of all criminal prosecutions. Now, it has given some of the power to other bodies to prosecute on his behalf. Sometimes you go to the lower courts, the police and the rest can prosecute on behalf of the Attorney General. Special prosecutor has been given certain powers in there, but it's normally the Attorney General that it is in its disposal when someone is alleged to have committed an offense. Then we have the civil law that I told you, an individual kind of between two individuals, or it can even be between the individual and the state. So let's say you have encroached on maybe a state land. The state can actually commence a civil suit against you. Or an individual is a family law matter, maybe custody of a child, and all of those. These are civil law matters. Then we have public law and private law. So public law deals with when statutory bodies or the state is involved. Maybe there's a district assembly that is supposed to perform certain function, and that district assembly is not performing it. You can go and get a mandatory order from the High Court to compel that district assembly to do its job. Maybe there's a government agency that is doing something that is beyond its powers. Maybe even the police have arrested you beyond whatever limits they are supposed to, the 48 hours. You can start a public law or a judicial review to review the actions of the police. Okay. Here it's not criminal per se, but it's between you and the state. Okay. Maybe the state has got certain powers, it is abusing its powers. You can use the public law option to do that. And that public law action, is a civil type of a civil law. Okay. Then we have the private law. That's individuals between ourselves. If family disputes, the lumbar issues, and these are all private law matters, and they are civil matters. Then we have international law. Okay, even in the international law, we have public international law and private international law. Public international law is when states are dealing with each other. The private international law is when individuals in different jurisdictions are into contract. So international contracts, marriages whereby the parties are from living in different jurisdictions and all of those things. The lumbar issues where they are looking for marriage certificates from Germany and all of those things. These are private international law. Okay. Then we have the constitutional law. Okay. Things to do with enforcement of the Constitution, interpretation of the Constitution, and all of those things. Okay. These are constitutional law. Any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, I'm listening.
My question is, if someone is arrested on Friday around this time and is detained till Monday before he is sent to court, has the police abused that person's right?
So what will be the hours?
More than 48 hours.
It should be within 48 hours. The Constitution says you produce the person before a court within 48 hours. So when they go beyond that, they are breaching the law.
So, and that 48 hours will fall on Sunday.
It doesn't matter. Even on public holidays, there are courts that are available for you to take them to.
Okay, sir.
I think
they are not available. The courts, they don't sit during holidays, so even during the Christmas festivities, most courts close down before the 24th.
There are always certain judges who will be available within that time. If you make that application, your lawyers make it. They will make themselves available. Martin Pebu went to court and it was a judge that when it comes to the 48 hours, it's 48 hours. Holidays and weekends are all part of the 48 hours.
Yes, sir, but sometimes there are exceptions. Because I think it's the high profile cases that the judges will sit and do it. But when you come to small towns, they are not they are always not available.
And the problem is in Ghana, the law, you have to have money. If you don't have money, you don't get a law. You have to get a lawyer.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
Please, what I know is, yes, please. What I know is, if only you will get reliable surety to stand in for the person, so that when it's due for the person to go to the court, then you phone the person to bring him to the courts.
Again, please.
Okay, I was saying that if the 48 hours is due, and only the person, the criminal or the offender, is having a surety to stand in for him, to sign the bill for him, you can grant him bill for the person to bring him when the time for the court is due.
Yeah, but you see, the constitution is straightforward. It just says that a person who is arrested must be brought before a court of competent jurisdiction within 48 hours, or you release that person. So, the fact that it's being breached doesn't mean that that is not a law. The law is 48 hours. You have to appear before a court, or they have to give you bail.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. This is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, how are you?
I'm doing good, sir. Master, I want to also say something. When the person has a surety, you can release the person on bail so that the person reports at the court maybe the next the day the court visits. But if not so, you the investigator will make an entry to that effect. That's mama nipa ni bill ba nebusia for name by it. Master, you get me. But if can say you can't say nipa no 48 hours asunti money bill manako. What of if the case in a murder case and I also say a major offense? You can't let the person go just like that. Until say nipa biya babema ni build there. Fair enough. If not that, you the investigator, you have to do an entry to that effect. Say time as soon why you overdue, but who try say ni surety be obi bema bema ni build, but obi embaye. That's it. Tan emrane can. Emrane can say if say obi embaye, then you should release the person to go. No. Thank you, sir.
Okay. There's a major issue which I think it requires the Supreme Court to come in there and give kind of an interpretation. Okay, the security agencies. Okay, there's this argument that they arrest you and they give you bail, and the bail condition is very, very huge, okay? And the person hasn't been able to meet the bail condition. Has such a person been bailed?
Yes.
How?
Master, we've given you the bail conditions. It depends on the offense. Master, it depends on the offense. So if only you can if only you can go by it there, then you are bail. We've given you.
But madam, I can't meet it. So what bail have you given me?
Oh, I've given you bail. But you went to me and meet.
What does the bail?
I want to come in here.
When we say we have bailed you and you are still in jail, how useful is that bail?
Yeah, it's of no use. Because it's more or less like you are still not bailed. Because you didn't meet the requirement.
I want to come in.
Please come in. No worries.
With every offense has the conditions. Let's say an offense like assault. You can grant the person bail in the sum of, let's say, maybe 2,000. If the person maybe didn't get injured, he was just beaten. That one is normal. But let's say if you are granting a person bail in the offense of assault, and then you raise the bail sum to, let's say, 5,000, that one is ridiculous. We can say you intentionally did that to keep the person there. But let's say if it is a causing harm, that the person got injured and the injury is deep, you cannot grant the person bail in the sum of 2,000. You have to raise
2,000
the bail sum to a level that can cater for the injury cost. You see, so it depends on the type of offense the person has committed and the bail condition that will be given.
But my question is, maybe the offense is small. You've told me to bring one surety, and the condition is that it's maybe 50 Ghana cedis. Okay. And I'm not able to get anyone to stand as surety. You don't want to give me self-recognition bill, and the people I have, they don't have 50 Ghana cedis, and I'm still in jail. Have you bailed me?
No.
No. Yes, we've bailed you.
How?
Who said no?
I said no. Please, Tando said no.
How do you call that bill?
Sorry, Vincent, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The moment
Sir, you are not in jail. You are in the police custody. They have given you the condition.
Police custody
if you only meet the condition.
Anyway, let's do it one at a time. Police custody is not jail. So which place is jail?
Jail, unless, as you said, court or competent jurisdiction sentence you to jail, and that is the prison. So being in the police custody doesn't mean that you are in jail.
Oh, but the thing is, it's not about jail. It's about being detained. It's about detention, isn't it?
Yes, they have detained you, and they have given you the condition. Okay, you have to pay 50 cedis.
And I'm not able to meet the condition.
Yes.
Have you bailed me?
No, for that one, no.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Sir.
Can I come in? Thank you,
It
sir.
depends.
Please, sir. My name is Tando.
All right. Yes, sir.
This whole thing that we are throwing back and forth, my opinion is that when an investigator, does all his necessary documentation, are waiting for a substantial surety, be it 50 Ghana sum assured or whatever amount. In as much as the suspect is in custody, the bail is incomplete. He has not been bailed.
That's right.
He has not been bailed. You see, the word is we are talking about bail. The person is still in custody. Now bail no any they want him. The bail is not complete.
That's the question I'm also asking. But it's a very topical issue because of
question I will be sir. Ebi I will basis here so won't ask you.
I have been here for.
Well, I'm taking it easy.
No,
I've been here for a while.
The moment I will nipa na oda inside so no investigate Tabeka will say Yama will bill panipa number panipa not surety manembra. You're on bill.
He's on bail, but has to be bailed.
You're on bail, but you cannot go.
You on bail, so I will produce majority.
You are not on bail.
He's not on bail.
Yeah,
Hello, sir.
I disagree with you, madam.
You are on bail because the bail is incomplete.
My sister, let's say no finish here. You see, when someone is or it's in detention in the police cells, it is the family members that you tell them, oh, we want to grant your family member, we want to grant him bail.
Yeah.
Him or her bail. So get a surety to start. So if the person is still at the police custody, bail is incomplete. As soon as the person comes out from the police custody, from the police cells,
anyway, we have quite a lot of things to go through. So can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's proceed. But I like it when people are passionate. It's good. It's good. At least you're following me. But madam, I disagree with you. And it's okay. All right. It's okay. It's very much okay. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you can.
That's right.
Hello, sir.
And the law
Sir,
is
we are
quite
not
clear.
getting you.
It's not that you should let a person
Yeah.
go scot-free. Take him to the court.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Line is out.
Hello. Oh, I'm offline. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello. Am I online?
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Oh, I think I dropped off. I'm back on. Oh, so sorry. I think I went offline. Okay, so let me read something to us. All right. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Article 14 of the Constitution. I'm coming. So Article 14.3 says, if you can mute your phones for me. Sorry, I'm getting feedback.
Richard, mute yourself.
Yes, thank you. So let me read Article 14.3 for you. It says, a person who is arrested, restricted, or detained, A, for the purpose of bringing him before a court in execution of an order of a court, or upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed or being about to commit a criminal offense under the laws of Ghana, and who is not released, shall be brought before a court within 48 hours after the arrest, restriction, or detention. So the word the Constitution uses is not even bail, who is not released. So if the person is still in detention, how can you say, I have granted him bail, but he's not been able to meet his sureties, so I've bailed him? The Constitution is very clear. Upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed or being about to commit a criminal offense under the laws of Ghana, and who is not released, shall be brought before a court within 48 hours after the arrest, restriction, or detention. If you grant me bail and I'm not able to meet my bail condition, have you released me?
No, sir.
So
No, sir.
I think that settles our matter. So let's go back to what we were doing.
Yes, sir. So please, about the international law.
You go ahead.
So the international law, when for me, my understanding is international is among or between countries, two or more countries.
Yes.
So what's about, let's say, when there is an issue between ECOWAS and UN, or African Union and let's say UN, how are you going to call that one? Is it the same as international law, or?
Yes, it will still be international law, because the ECOWAS is made up of different countries, and the UN is made up of different countries. And international law is when different countries are dealing with each other. Or, the main difference is, you don't use the internal laws of a country to govern it. You use agreements between different states to look at that issue. It becomes an international law. So anything that moves from one jurisdiction to another jurisdiction is international.
Okay, sir.
So there are some major Is my slide on?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So there are some major types of law, but there are many kind of specialized areas of law that address specific legal issues. And in the such as we have laws like environmental law, intellectual property law, family law, immigration law, and a lot, land law and all of those things. Legal systems around the world often incorporate various combinations of these types of law to address diverse needs and challenges of society. So let's look at certain legal principles and concepts, and then we'll call it today. Legal principles and concepts form the bedrock of any just and orderly society. They are the guiding principles that underpin the entire legal system, shaping its structure, operation, and the way laws are interpreted. So let's look at some legal principles and concepts. There's a concept propounded by A.V. Dicey, the rule of law. The rule of law is a fundamental principle that establishes that everyone, including the government and public officials, they are subject to and accountable under the law. So equality before the law. It ensures that the laws are applied consistently and impartially. So when we say rule of law, okay, so you go and meet your first objective questions. And maybe I'll say, what is rule of law? Then I'll bring different descriptions. So you get this one. It's where everyone is treated equally before the law. Propounded by A.V. Dicey. Okay. Another concept is the presumption of innocence. And I think this one is something that people find it so difficult to understand. I mean, we understand it, but when it comes to critical areas, we pretend not to understand it. That individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty. And I think when we started today, they said somebody was supposed to have killed certain people, and that person should even be killed. Even if we find someone, we see him on CCTV killing someone, that person is innocent until he has been proven by a court of competent jurisdiction to be guilty. Everyone who has been charged with an offense and everything, that person is innocent. It goes into bail and everything. You treat someone as innocent until he has pleaded guilty. And if it is a capital offense, he cannot plead guilty. If it's a non-capital offense, he pleads guilty, then that person can be presumed to be guilty. So until that, everyone is innocent. And that is one of the bedrock of our legal system, that when you are alleged to have committed an offense, so sometimes you listen on radio that someone has, someone has been nabbed for killing, someone, and all of you see all these kind of prejudicial statements. Say, oh, the person, he's supposed to have done it and he's guilty. Especially when now it comes to our political, correspondence. Oh, Oforiatta is guilty. I don't know whether he's guilty or he's not guilty. To me, it doesn't look like an innocent man. But it doesn't matter. He is presumed to be innocent until he's proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. And until he has been proven guilty, there's no point going on a high horse and saying he has stolen this, he has stolen that, he has stolen that. You have to take him through what we look at, another concept, due process. He needs to go through a system before he can be, you don't convict someone in the court of public opinion. And this thing is one area of law that we always find it, difficult, especially when, there's evidence that that person has committed an offense. Okay. And basically, the guilt must be proved beyond reasonable doubt. Okay, the scale is higher in criminal kind of cases. In civil cases, it's on the balance of preponderance of probabilities. But in a criminal case, there must be beyond reasonable doubt. It's not beyond the shadow of doubt, but it's beyond reasonable doubt. Okay. Also, there's due process. That's also one concept under the law. Okay. Due process, legal principles and concepts. Due process is a legal concept that guarantees that individuals are provided with fair and just treatment during legal proceedings. It includes a right to notice, a fair trial, a fair and a public trial, legal representation, the opportunity to present evidence and witness. So the court system must be, must be transparent. give the person the right. You if you are a public prosecutor, you give disclosures. You disclose your case to the person so that the person can, if you are investigating and if you find certain evidence that goes in favor of the accused, as a public investigator, you are under duty to disclose it to the accused person. Okay. So that is due process. That's also one concept of the law. There's also equality before the law. It's the same as the rule of law thing. Equality before the law says that all individuals are entitled to equal protection and treatment under the law, regardless of their race, gender. So there mustn't be any form of discrimination, social status, and the rest. Then there's legal liability. So it refers to legal responsibility of individuals, okay, or entities for their actions. So your action, there could be criminal liability or there could be a civil liability, but you must be responsible for your actions. It may lead to civil or criminal consequences. Then we have the legal jurisdiction. When you are taken to the court must have the jurisdiction to hear that matter. Okay, it determines which court or legal authority has the authority to hear or decide a particular issue, and it is based such as location. So if you go and steal something in Cape Coast, a court in Tamale will not have that geographic jurisdiction to trial that matter, but you have to be brought to Cape Coast. Okay, but there are certain times too that the Chief Justice can transfer certain matters. So when the Denchi Obuasi matter happened, it was supposed to be tried within the central region, but because of the sensitivity of the case, they moved it to Accra. So, but that one did require the Chief Justice to come in there. So the courts operate within jurisdictions. If you are litigating over a land and the subject matter is in Kasua, then the High Court in Kasua will have the jurisdiction to look at it. But there are certain instances too that the Chief Justice can order for a transfer of the case to another place. Okay, and the parties involved, if it's a contract and maybe the buyer lives in this place, the seller lives here, and the contract was supposed to have been performed here, it's normally where the contract was supposed to have been performed. That's where the court that is in that location that will have the legal jurisdiction to look at that matter. Then there's a whole concept of separation of powers. Okay, Baron de Montesquieu. So that means the arms of government, the executive, legislature, the judiciary, those arms of government must operate separately. Okay, in Ghana, we don't practice full separation of powers because we have people who are within the executive and they are also in the legislature. But in a place like America, they try as much as possible. But there must always be checks and balances. Okay, so that there will not be abuse of power or concentration of power within one arm. Then there's what we call legal precedent. Okay, legal precedent, I think I've discussed when I was talking about the common law. I think it's almost 6 o'clock, so I'll let you go. Tomorrow we'll continue.
Thank you very much. God bless.
All right. Thank you very much. Oh yes, ask your question before we go. Is it about the bill?
No. It's about the laws, the types of loan.
Okay.
My question is, my name is Daina Jiwa.
Right.
Can offerta issues? What type of law would we use to describe it?
It's criminal law.
Criminal law.
But now there's an international law element of it because he's in America and they are trying to bring him here. So we have to deal with the international aspect of it. But it's criminal law. He's supposed to have stolen our money. I don't even know what he stole. What did he steal?
But now I say Jamia.
They said he built a church or something, isn't
it? A cathedral.
Okay. So we'll see. Anyway. Okay. Anyway. So all the best and thanks, and we'll meet tomorrow. I think it's 10:30. Oh. Yes, sir. All right. Have a good night. Thanks for your attention. Bye-bye.
Yes. Sorry.
That's the flower pond wine. See, I know. Yeah, the day who I tell you. Say weekend class.
No, it's 5 or 7.
They're all 6.
But I know passes to your universities. I didn't. Then since you college, I know about.
Hey,